Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshack here. We are back at it again with another exciting raid video. We had just covered the Forge guys, going over the crafting and when to do all of that stuff. However, we did not touch on the relic crafting, which is a very important mechanic in the mid to, I would say, later stages of the game, when you can start collecting the materials needed to start crafting relics, and then of course put the relics on your champions. I think in like the very early game, when you first unlock relics at all, it gives you just one to do, and I think you upgraded a few times. The first one I had was the Unholy Grail, or I think that gives it to everybody, right? And I put it on my Desert Queen, and you upgrade it a few times. You don't really think about it or do much with it since then. It's been a long time since the first couple days of playing raid, even though it's only been like 3 months. However, the Forge was something I was kind of scared of touching before I knew what I was doing. Same thing with the relic crafting, but the good news is there's really not too much to it. It is pretty straightforward and simple. We're going to start just looking at the materials it takes to even do this in the first place. So the materials that you're going to be using to craft relics to make your characters substantially stronger, one of them is going to be the Chimera boss. If you notice, if you look in the where it drops, you get the ocular masses. Forgot to mention, if you are just starting raid or you're thinking about starting, make sure to use my QR code there up at the top and download raid. You're going to find yourself some fantastic epics, one at level 10, one at level 20, and one at level 30. On top of this, you're going to get a free legendary Tholen, which is a fantastic legendary in the early, mid, and late stages of the game. My computer just popped up with a want to restart now. Yeah, no computer, not right now. We're in the middle of a bit. And then in the first 24 hours of your account, make sure to use the code Desert Queen. However, there's a lot of them, so maybe do some research and see if there's another one that fits your playstyle. However, most of the guides that I make and things that I'm going to cover are going to be using my creator code and the Desert Queen, so I highly recommend using her. Like I said, if you just started raid and you didn't use a creator code, or you want to start over and do a nice little free-to-play journey, I highly recommend using my links. And again, those can be found in the QR code at the top, along with the description and pinned comment. All right, so back to Chimera. If you go on to the loot and then drop info, you can see he drops champion fragments, a lot of resources. However, once you start going in down into the hard mode Chimera, you're going to set yourself some epic ocular, which can be used to craft your relics in the Forge. Granted, I'm still doing pretty simple Chimera on easy and normal, so my relic stuff is just going to be rare. However, as you progress through, you'll get a higher and higher rarity of resources. Another fantastic place to go. Okay. Got a little Guardian Ring action going on. Another fantastic place to go to find yourself some juicy materials is going to be the new Grim Forest. You'll be able to unlock this, I believe, at level 55, which is going to take a little bit if you're on a newer account, but definitely something to look forward to. So Grim Forest has a normal and hard mode. Oh, it just reset. How fantastic. And then going through the Grim Forest, you'll be able to acquire materials for the Forge. Both of these methods don't take a lot of time and are pretty easy to gather. I haven't really thought about, going out of my way. As farming the clan boss Chimera, you're only doing it, what, like once a week, and then the Grim Forest is once a day, but it's really fast, to be honest. And then the other ways to get the materials for the relics are going to be through events that are happening and the Forge Pass, which happens pretty often. There's a paid for one and a free one. I've never paid for it yet, and I've got a few materials from that. It sucks because I actually had like 3 times more materials than this, because I actually recorded this video already. Unfortunately, my computer, I don't know where that video is. It's just gone. So this is the materials that we happen to have right now, and we'll work with what we have here. So when you put in the materials to craft a relic, you always have a 50% chance to craft a normal relic, with the other percentage chance is going to give you the type of materials that you put in. So since we're putting in Chimera materials, we are going to get a 50% chance to craft a Chimera relic, and then a 50% chance to craft a standard one, given there's different relics for different materials. So let's say we take away some Chimera and we put it in, let's say, a Forge Pass material. It's going to give us a chance at the standard, which is always going to be 50%. We have a lower chance of Chimera because we weaved in the other Forge Pass materials, which now Forge Pass has a higher chance because we put in epic Forge Pass materials over the just rare chimera stuff. And then before you craft your relic, you can obviously see the breakdown of what you're going to get. So we have like a 75% chance to get a rare, a 23.5% chance to get an epic, a very slightly higher than 1.5% chance to get a legendary, and then a 0.3% chance to get a mythic. So they are very transparent on the percentages of what you can get. Obviously, depending on your just resources, you'll craft those relics. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of different relics covering a lot of different materials because Raid has been around a while right now. So taking a look at the relics themselves, we'll just look at a very simple one here, the golden elixir. As you can see here on the screen, it has a circle under it and it has a, what is that, a hexagon? I'm going to go with a hexagon. These little sockets aren't just for looks. They're actually sockets. So on top of going through the motions of crafting a relic and then upgrading the relic's rank and its rarity and all of that good stuff, there is also gemstones that fit into these sockets. The gemstones can be gathered through basically the same way you're going to be getting the material. So you don't really have to go out of your way to get gemstones. You'll just be collecting these as you collect resources for your relics. And then you can assume the circular gemstone goes into the circular socket. The triangle gemstone goes into the triangle socket. The triangle gemstones do not go into the circle sockets. They are very socket appropriate. So make sure that we are not putting a square peg in a round hole.
A cylinder.
The circle.
I think that goes in
The circle.
the square hole.
All right, so back to the relic crafting. We'll just take a look at what it looks like. I will put in, since I have a lot of these chimera materials, we're just going to put it in and hit craft. We have an 84% chance at a rare, 15.5% at an epic, a 0.5 at legendary, and 0.01 at mythic, meaning we're going to definitely hit a mythic. Just kidding. We actually hit all rares last time, and I was using a bunch of legendary and epic materials, and it was like a 20% chance at a rare, and we hit it like 5 times in a row, which was not the greatest. I wouldn't really worry about when you're crafting your starting relics to sell them. I would craft what you have, see what you have, and a great resource is to figure out which relic to put on which champion. I highly recommend Hell Hades. This website is fantastic for resources when it comes to what to do for each individual champion, whether it's booking, what they're good at, which blessing to put on them. This is definitely, there is no way any normal human being should remember every raid champion and exactly what they, everything about them. So this website, like I said, is very good, and I highly recommend it. So if we scroll down, let's just say we're looking at Predator, it has their awakens here, but it also has their relics and what gems to put or sockets to put in there. It also tells you where the relics come from. So being able to see which relics that you open and then which champions that you have fit with those relics is very important, because you don't want to put the wrong relic on the wrong champion because you didn't do a couple clicks of research. All right, back to raid. We are feeling a little lucky right now. So we're going to put in 1 legendary Forge Pass material for 25 and 3 of the epic ones. We have a lower than a 50% chance to hit a rare. We're going to hit something juicy here. I am feeling a legendary relic. We've been through this before in the video that you're never going to see. This could be good. We did. Oh my God, we got a mythical relic. My prayers have been heard. This video is the best video ever. This is awesome. So we'll just have to figure out which dread bomb, where this dread bomb will go on my champions. The wear has a 10% chance to gain an extra turn when attacking. The wear also ignores 10% of the enemy's defense when attacking during extra turns. It seems pretty powerful on some attack champions, also with the gear that allows you to get the extra attack, which I use on a lot of my carries and damage dealers. I do believe I am in love, so we're definitely going to keep that. And I'm feeling like we're on a bit of a hot streak right now. So we're going to do an epic from the Forge Pass. We're going to do some, let's do a little Grim Forest action there, and then we'll do another discovery. So we have a bunch of mixtures of relics here just to utilize the resources, and we're just going to hit that craft button. We have an 80% chance of pretty much hitting a rare, but that's never going to happen. We hit a rare, but that's okay because we just hit a mythic. And that was actually insane. So just for the sake of the video, we'll craft a couple more relics to show you what it looks like and pretty much what, hey look, the malefic talon goes on the predator, which we just looked at just a few seconds ago, where it has a 20% chance to deal 10% more damage when attacking. That's seems pretty solid to me for just an extra item that you can upgrade, and you're getting these crafting materials for pretty much free anyway, because you're going to be doing the clan bosses anyway. And for the sake of it, we'll just do 1 or 2 more just because another malefic talon and another unholy grail. So we're just going to go to our collection real quick here and show you what it looks like when we upgrade the relics, because obviously you're going to want to upgrade these. If you find a juicer, you can upgrade the level, which takes the stones you get from selling these relics that you don't need, or the ones that you don't need. Again, I don't recommend selling anything until you have an idea of what your champions are wanting and where you're at in regards to resources. And then you have the upgrade rank. This works very, very similar to how a champion upgrades rank. You use these stones on the left. After your relic has been upgraded, think of these stones as chickens. That's the best way to put it. And then also think of upgrading your relics the same exact way you upgrade your champions. You want to upgrade their level to the maximum level for that particular rank, and then you upgrade the rank using, they're not chickens, they're stones. I am not a particular fan of an entirely additional leveling system inside of a item when we already have stuff like gear and awakening and then ascending, and then we have blessings, and then we have relics, and then we have like the guardian ring stuff, which you empower champions, which can be eaten by other champions if you've copies of the same champion. There's an infinite amount of stuff to do in a raid, with the forge and relic crafting obviously just being a very small part of it. It does, like I said, look overwhelming at first, but hopefully this video has helped you and see it's really not that crazy, and you really don't have to get that into it, you know what I mean? Like, you could just, you get your relics, you'll upgrade them if you can. If you can't, you made your champion that much stronger just by watching this video. And I actually held off on doing any relic crafting myself until the video that you're never going to see, because I was just scared of the mechanic. I didn't know anything about this, and I didn't want to make a mistake. So hopefully you guys don't feel like that after this video, and you can take advantage of this and make your champions that much stronger. So you can, ideally, the goal of every account should be getting to the juicy and succulent clan boss, especially the Ultra Nightmare, and downing this as a guild. Our guild actually just got to Ultra Nightmare not too long ago, and we are in the process of working and whittling them down. So if you're interested in joining a guild, feel free to join the guild. No, we're not logging out right now. Join the guild, dudes. I believe we actually have a couple more spots available. We have 3 more spots available. It's DOODS. Happy to have you guys. Just be sure to leave you a message saying that you're from the YouTube or Twitch. Just make sure I give you that invite, because I'm only inviting people from, again, the YouTube and Twitch. We have a lot of other just random people that want in, but they're not allowed in. Only the best are allowed in this dudes guild. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed, hopefully you've learned something, and hopefully your champions will be that much stronger next time you watch another one of my videos. With that, I'll catch you in the next one. Of course, I'm Robert Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.